Hey, we're chasing records. You're watching On the Record, and this episode's guest is Shot Down Twice.
And today, and not only this guy has been shot down once, is the North Portal traditional hair where you got the airplane on there. So I'm going to crack this one during this podcast here. So don't forget, place your orders, $50 or more, free shipping, and enjoy their beer. It's delicious. Enjoy the podcast. All right. And here we are, another podcast. Today we have Carmen from Shot Down Twice. How's it going tonight?
Awesome. How's everyone else doing? Thank you
We're
for having
good.
me.
Hey, no problem.
Super good. Super good.
You're just down the road from us, eh?
Oh, is that true?
I think so. Are
I
you
don't
in?
know. Where are you?
Are you in, where are you?
That's
Are you in-
funny. Well, we stay in Burlington right now.
Yeah.
I'm in Brampton right now at the moment.
Oh, wow, okay.
Go between those two places. But yeah, so where are you guys?
We're in London. The big
Oh,
city of
okay. So,
London,
yeah.
Ontario. Yeah, we're just down the
Neighboring.
street. Yeah. Yeah, not far down the road of 401. So you travel from Burlington to Brampton. Is that where you guys are? Where do you mostly hang out? Is it Burlington then?
This is my mom's place actually. So,
Oh, is it?
Okay.
but in Burlington, that's where me and the guitar player Jeff live.
Okay.
So we have a practice space in Stony Creek, Hamilton.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, so we're just around that area, but it's
Crazy.
it's good. We're close to everything.
So you guys were you considered like a power band. You guys came from all different backgrounds, and you guys came together. I actually had a few questions that I was going to ask because we don't really it's not really an interview. This podcast more of a chit chat, shoot the shit kind of thing. But I saw your interview with Thrasher's Paradise that you did recently.
Awesome.
And I was watching today, and a lot of the questions I had were asked in that, so I felt like an idiot asking that again. I was like,
Oh, that's totally fine.
but I will ask about your video, The Legend. That video was a shitload of fun, and
Awesome.
in your Thrasher's Paradise interview, you guys said that you just had beers all day, and it was a blast to shoot. How'd you get that concept for? Because that was your debut, right?
Yeah, it was kind of funny. Yeah, my bandmates kind of took the reins on that a little bit, and I just kind of was along for the ride. But it was funny. We just kind of we got together in the basement and ordered some stuff online. Like we ordered some paint and stuff, and then they ordered glow in the dark
Guitar strings. Yeah,
Those things are unreal. I didn't know those existed.
That was the coolest thing ever. And yeah, I mean, I think one of them had used them before because they just brought it up, and it really did look so cool. I must say that was awesome. I love colorful things, so I really enjoyed that. And yeah, so we just spent the day before painting this sheet, and it was just hilariously fun. And there was a black light. We rented the black light and everything, and then the setup was really fun. Yeah, everything about it was just really fun. I loved it.
When you say the basement, it was the basement of a bar, or where were you?
It was so when we decorated, we were in the basement of our drummer's basement.
Oh, okay.
And then the next day we did it in a bar in Oakville that I used to go to sometimes. It was funny because it was in quarantine, so it was closed for a while, and we went in the morning, and it had been closed, so I thought maybe it wouldn't smell so bad, but it still smelled.
It's
I was
that
like,
lingering.
oh God,
That
it trapped all that stink.
Yeah, it never goes away. Those
It
bars.
never goes trapped in the walls. Yeah. Whenever we all get to play again somewhere, that thought of the smell going away, that's not possible. It's not.
Oh my God. I was like, well, if it was going to go away, it'd be gone now. I mean, it is underground. I mean, so it is like a basement bar. So
basement bar,
I guess there's no airflow.
Oh.
I was like, it still smells like people in here. Like, it's just amazing. It's amazing.
That's hilarious. So because you guys formed this was early 2020, right? Just before kind of we were all locked down, right?
Yeah, so that was almost perfect in a way, because I was gigging a lot with a band before as a bassist and backup singer, and so if that was going at the time and then that it had happened, it would have really sucked. But we just started the writing process, and I was like, well, I mean, if it's gonna happen at any time, it better not be in our best gigging time. So
True.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
Now, when with your previous in Shot Down Twice, or no?
You
sorry, you just cut out for a
yeah,
moment.
you cut
sorry.
out. You froze. Yeah,
It's oh no, not this again.
I know.
Not so bad so far, actually.
Was there anybody from your previous band that's in Shot Down Twice, or is it just you?
Actually, yeah, it's the first time in a while that I haven't worked with any of these people before. Like, the guy I know the longest I knew since high school, and we both always like were metalheads, and we went to school together and stuff. And like, I always liked the guy, but I never like hung out with him or anything. And he just approached me to be a part of the band. So, because I guess like we had played a few gigs, like our bands played alongside each other a few times. But yeah, it was the first time I worked with all of them, and yeah, I mean, I was working with a lot of the same people, kind of like different rotations for a while. So just like a whole new set of people. But I love these guys. These guys are like so good. They like, yeah, I mean, the riffs they write are amazing.
Yeah, there's some
On the
pretty
same
sweet
page.
riffs on
It's
these
really
on that
sweet.
EP. Yeah, there's some really good
Oh,
guitar
yeah,
work
I
on
love
the EP.
it.
And you guys look like, I mean, based off, again, well, I've seen one interview, but based on that, you guys just look like you gel very nicely, which
Yeah,
is great, right? And your sound is awesome, and you could definitely see that metal influence, but you guys aren't metal, right? You say you're on the cusp of being metal, but without being metal. You're a hard rock.
yeah, yeah.
It's great. I love it.
Yay.
And
And
you've got some slow songs in there too, like some.
I was
you
gonna
got
say the
like
Mirage, yeah,
Mirage was a big one that I listened to. I was like, ooh, kind of.
Sweet.
It's one of those where it kind of took me off guard, right? I was like, oh wow, I didn't see that coming, right? It's kind of
Awesome.
nice to see that soft side, right? Have
Yeah.
you guys done any like acoustic gigs? Well, obviously, sorry, there would be no gigs. What am I talking about? Unless you did some over the summer.
Well, yeah, in the summer we actually did one acoustic gig, and that was really fun. We didn't do all the songs on the EP. I think we left two off because two of them were, I don't know, they didn't translate very well. But it actually went well, and we did a couple open mic things like behind the plexiglass and whatnot. So
How
we're
was
just
that?
like fun things to do. It's actually okay. I mean, it was kind of like a bit of a bummer, but it was like better than doing nothing. But sometimes I did think it was kind of questionable. Sometimes I was like,
yeah.
we're definitely like getting pretty close here. I don't know.
Yeah, we just mentioned on our last podcast. So in London, they're doing called Revive Live. So they're playing at venues in London, but they're streaming them. Now, I honestly think they're recorded. I don't think they're live based on when we watch. I don't know, Andrew, what your
They're
thoughts
not
are.
live. No,
There's
definitely not live.
There's no way. Just the
We're
way
being lied to.
It would definitely
Yeah.
lied to because
Yeah.
the way they cut in from the opening act, who we
And
had
the band was ready to go. The next band was
Yeah.
just it's bullshit.
there was no setup. I was like,
No.
this is okay. But it's really neat because, they're putting on these shows in our venues, in London. And, but what was weird is that the plexiglass between each band member in front of the drummer, right? There's no crowd. So there's nothing in front of the musicians that way, but it's just so strange to see bandmates interact between a wall of glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really funny. It reminds me of like I don't know, sometimes in recording, sometimes you go in like record in like a glass case
Like a
looking
sound
thing.
booth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's for sound purpose, not like you can't be like cheers your band member. You're like, I would, what I would do if we had plexiglass, I'd write on it and say I miss you or something. So when you look through it, you'd see that because I couldn't.
Yeah.
It'd be so weird. It's like you're in a little cubicle, and you're performing to nobody. I don't know. It's just the energy must be totally off, right? Like that environment. It's.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you build off the crowd when you go live, right?
Yeah, well, me and my bandmates, we always make the joke we're in a glass case of emotion.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, and that's what it's like. So, yeah, it's crazy. But so, Get Up Once. That's the name of the album.
Got Up Once. Yeah.
Oh, Got Up Once.
Shut down twice. Got Up Once.
Got Up Once. Yeah. Sorry, my something's blocking my. Anyway.
That's no worries.
Where did you guys record that? If you guys reformed, is it at home? Do you know studio that was you guys could get into?
Yeah, we had two studios, like home studios. One of our buddies did the drums. Tyler Williams from Monolithic Productions did the drums, and he's really really good with that. We did everything else with a guy named Graham Sturrett in Mississauga, and yeah, it was really fun. I mean, it is home studios, but these guys are really really awesome. Of course, we really like them. Yeah. So it didn't take very long. Like we had it all figured out. We jammed it out like enough times. So we were able to kind of bang it out, which is nice. I prefer to just do that rather than kind of half writing the songs in the studio.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because our entire EP was done, well, our full album technically, but it's not fully out, but we've broken it out into two EPs. It's all done at home. And we've actually, Andrew and I've never actually sat down in the same room together to write or to jam.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
So cool, eh?
we formed this, late March of last year, and just it never really materialized for us to be able to really get together to hash it all out. So it's
That's
so
crazy.
strange to think. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you're looking at our recording studio right now.
yeah, exactly.
This is also where I work during the day, and this is, it's multi-purpose room.
Is
But
that a precision bass or is that a jazz bass or?
it's a P bass, yeah, yeah,
Nice. I have the
yeah.
same one, but lefty.
Oh, you're a lefty.
Yeah,
Oh, get out.
it's
Yeah,
annoying.
because you were a bass player. Yeah, it's annoying. It must be so hard to find like good used gear, eh? As a lefty.
Yeah, it is. Well, and actually, it's just annoying to not be able to borrow one offhand. Like,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
someone hands you one. I mean, I can like kind of pluck away at it and do like a little something, but yeah. So my bass is born lefty, and then my guitar was my dad's when he was younger. So I just switched the nut and the strings around. So
Oh, awesome. Yeah, good
Nice,
for
yeah.
you.
So is that
do what you
is that
gotta do.
yeah,
Yeah,
you do, yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So is that where this all started then? Was family then for you for music?
A little bit. Like my dad is a 70s punk rocker, and honestly I didn't really bond with him about it that much when I was a kid. Like I didn't really realize how much he was into it. I guess like I don't know, maybe he thought that I wouldn't be into it as much, like I knew a little bit, but him and I jam a whole bunch now, and we recorded together.
That's
He's
cool.
not like a metalhead, but like I've shown him some metal recently and he seems to like it. Like I showed him Ride the Lightning Metallica recently and
Wow.
he was like just he was like, I've never heard anything like this before. This is incredible. I was like, yeah, oh God, it's so fun to like show people something amazing for the first time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So
That's
your
a
dad missed the whole Metallica
experience.
phase?
Yeah, like
He
he was
missed it
all
all?
like,
Wow.
I mean, he's pretty much like stuck in his like decade of punk rock.
Oh,
Like he
okay.
loves like Sex Pistols and The Clash and
Oh,
like
yeah.
the Dead Boys and
Oh,
stuff like
awesome.
that. Like he's really
Awesome.
cool.
So your first band that you were in, what music was that? Was that punk or was it more metal?
Well, I did a lot of like just like when I was a kid, I was in a lot of like extracurricular bands and stuff, but I
Mhm.
pretty much I don't know, I guess like the first serious stuff, like the first stuff that I wrote was always kind of rock with like metal influence and punk rock. I don't know, just like around that area. When I was a teenager, it was a bit more angsty, and now
Yeah.
it's a bit more like kind of classic metal sounding. Like that's my ideal genre. It's just
Awesome.
like kind of like old school, like just like powerful metal. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I like Judas Priest a lot. Like old Judas Priest is like
Yeah.
the style I wanted to do. Like when they were almost like bordering on being a rock band. That was like what I wanted. And then I heard Shot Down Twice and I was like, these guys sound exactly like what I want to sound like.
So
Yeah.
did you audition for them or they just brought you on board?
Well, the drummer Rusty actually like approached me because yeah, we went to high school together,
Right,
and
yeah.
he was just like, I'm just wondering if you want to try out for this. And so yeah, and then it went really well. We pretty much just immediately were like, okay, we're doing it. Like after
That's
the first
awesome.
practice. Yeah, it felt really good. It was
That's
nice
so
to like
cool.
kind of know someone, but like kind of be getting to know people.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was awesome.
So were they looking for a lead singer then? Is that the reason why?
Yeah, they were looking for a little while, and they were looking for like a bassist too. Like I think like we have someone who fills in on bass, but we do need a bassist or a drummer, whichever comes first, because Rusty can do both basically.
Mhm.
But yeah, they were looking for someone for a while. I think like since the summer, and then I joined last February.
Nice.
So yeah, it was like kind of perfect because I was looking for bands. Like I auditioned for a few bands, and they didn't really do a lot for me. Like it was kind of like, meh. But
Yes, it's the worst
yeah,
process
so
ever, eh? Like auditions in general are so awkward. Like you walk into a room of people who at least know each other and they're familiar with each other, and then you got to show up, and of all things, you have to sing with them, right? Because that must have been terrible. Like I used to audition singers, and it was like I always felt so bad to the people who are like auditioning because it's like they came in we're like 4 or 5 beers in, and we're like, oh yeah, come sing with us, and like we're like we all know each other, we're idiots, and someone's like, oh, like okay, and it's like it's I don't know. I mean, I'm sure other people are more professional about it, but we were at the time where it's like idiots, young, we were young, right?
yeah.
So like coming into that, but how was it? You said it was just great coming into these guys. Did you do original songs, or did you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you came in and did original songs at first?
Yeah, they sent me 3 demos and they just said like just write something and just like have just something to just show what you sound like at least, and just like a couple lyrics. Like they were like, you can write, I guess, all 3 songs if you want, or just something. So I wrote like 1.5 of the songs, and yeah, so, and that's another added pressure. And it's nice when they're at least understanding and they give you a little while and they don't expect you to have it all right away.
Figured
And
out,
not,
yeah.
like they're not too harsh about the deadline, but it's up to me then to just make sure I don't like take too long, because it's good to just like at least just get the first session done.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
take the time polishing off the songs after that.
Now for this EP, did you write all the lyrics to the EP?
Yeah, it was really fun. Like I wrote all the lyrics, and usually when I've done that, my bandmates kind of like step aside for that, but Jeff, the guitarist, like has really like helped me with that, and I kind of go to him for a lot of advice, and he helped me like kind of put the songs together and stuff. But like all the parts were written by me, and every once in a while he'd be like, do you want to change the end of that melody or something? So it was nice just to have someone like kind of go over with a fine-tooth comb a little bit.
Yeah, it's a nice way to do it.
Yeah, for sure, because you don't want to the fact that like we talked about this before in other pods, like that constructive criticism, being able to have that in a band, someone give you like an opinion that without being like, I don't want to be offended, and you being not like, you can accept it. I think that's hard for a lot of people to do, is accept change to their own personal work. And that it's unfortunate, but like a lot of people, I don't know if it's a pride thing, because I'm always like, yeah, I probably fucked that up. Like if you want me to change something, I'll change it. There's a good chance I screwed that up. So but I know a lot of people that I was in bands with. My previous singer in Toronto, when I was in the band with her, she didn't like, that was her process, like the writing, and we didn't really have a say in melodies or lyrics, or so it was kind of a toxic environment. But yeah, so it's cool that like we've talked to a few bands who've been able to communicate, right? And that's
the
so
key part, right?
Yeah,
it's so important. Yeah, it's and it's also, it's really important because first of all, I just find that like a lot of the time someone brings something up and I think about it and I'm like, wow, like that's such a good point. And it's always just like a little thing. And it's also nice to, as long as I have the ability then to sometimes be like, I've thought about your suggestion, like I really do like what I originally did, or like, oh, I don't know, like it's nice to be able to disagree with the disagreement. And also, and just know that it's not personal. Like my bandmates think I'm great. They think I'm a great songwriter. Like if they ever say that, it's not like a personal insult. I know overall, like we respect each other. So
yeah, I know. Like we sat down with Andrew's brother before we kind of really decided to release and how we were going to release it too. It kind of changed our way of what we were going to do with our full album, and that's why we broke it out. But there was even some stuff that he said lyrically, and I was like, yeah, absolutely right. That one was wordy, you know, even though you know it, and it's nice to almost hear somebody else go, yeah. And then you're like, okay, that affirms that. And there was one other lyric that we had in there that I was like, you know what, now that I've explained it, does it make more sense? And it was like, yeah, and, you know, let's keep it that way. So I'm totally open. You know, I've always said to Andrew, I've like sent him stuff. I'm like, hey, whatever needs changing, please let me know. Because
that's awesome. That's great.
It works so much better that way, right? When there's open communication and ideas can flow that way, it makes a much smoother process in the writing.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. And it's just, I want everyone else to be happy with the songs too. So if there's anything that's going to bug someone, like if there's just a little line you don't like or just a little thing, I'd rather we just get out in the open so that we can all listen to it when it's done and just be like, this is amazing, I love it. So, and I feel like we all think that, like when we've all listened to the whole EP and just been like, yes, this is like what we meant to say. That's awesome. I love that. I love that feeling.
So do you guys have anything in the works right now?
Yeah, like I actually like just got my stuff up and running, because when I'm writing songs, I like to record a little bit so that I can kind of get the like just little intro melody parts, because I like to mix it up with the melody a lot. So it's just, I'll forget it if I don't just like record it a little bit. So I'm so excited. I got a little bit of stuff down, but it's still a lot of work to do.
Yeah. So when you guys released the EP, was it always planned to be an EP? Did you guys go into it knowing that this is going to be an EP? Or
yeah, we did pretty much. And now we're going to do a full length album next.
Cool.
And some people argue that the full length album is either dead or not necessary, but
we've had that argument.
We've had that argument. Yeah. We were set to put out a full album. That was our goal. We had it done. It is done. I mean, it really is done. And then we took an alternate path. I think part of it is that no one knew who we were. So it was more of a, listen, if we dump this on 14 tracks and it gets listened for a week and a half, is it just going to disappear for that entire year's worth of work? And is it really worth it that way? And then obviously you can promote it as you go through, but I think it's a little bit more difficult. And like I said, we didn't really have a following. No one knew who we were. They didn't have a reason to care. So we were like, we have to give them a reason to care. So that was kind of the reason why we thought, let's chunk this out. But it certainly made us think about going forward, because we've noticed, at least, and I don't know what you've seen with your EP, but for us, our singles are good. And then it's, not bad for the second song, but as it gets down to number 5, it trickles down quite a bit. And you try to pump it out. And cause like, Andrew and I both said there's some songs on there. They're like, man, that was a really good song. Like, and maybe is it we're so invested in it? I don't know. As when you write them and you love them so much, you're so attached to them. But that's a difficulty, right? To kind of see that album kind of just disappear. And it's
exactly. Like that amazing song got lost in time. Like it's just like got swept away.
Right.
It's a bit of a shame. And well, I think if you want to make a full length album now, and any argument for the full length album, in my opinion, is mostly like personal. It's like, if it's important to you and you just think about like, who cares about this? And when I think about it, like if Shot Down Twice making a full length album, like some like external fans and listeners, I guess, like will be into it, but it'll be mostly like, it'll be mostly personal for me. I'll just like be super happy, like this is an accomplishment for me, and my family will be excited about. My dad is like a huge fan of this stuff. Like he'll be like, he's really, really happy. I told him like full length album, he was really happy about it. And really it's just I don't really care like mostly about that. I just really love the idea of a full length album, because I just grew up buying full length albums with all my allowance and stuff, and I still have like all my CDs and stuff, and I like the art. I like I don't know, I just like romantically the idea of an album.
Would you guys actually press it at some point then, you think?
Oh yeah, I mean, I would like to. I think like once we start playing live, we're gonna have copies of Got Up Once at least, and probably the album too. Probably just like not that many or whatever, but just because at shows people do still buy them sometimes. So
yeah. Well, I mean, vinyl now is huge. Like people will still buy vinyl, and mostly, I mean, part of it's for the artwork too, right? I mean, that's come back huge. But I mean, that's one of the tough parts. Is what do you do? Do you press it? Do you have it to sell or not? I think some people still want. I mean, for I have collections of certain artists that I have each CD, and I mean the worry though for me is, are they going to put out a CD for that album, right? Or is it just going to be vinyl? Because I don't have a ton of vinyl. Right,
exactly,
because I kind of want that whole collection. I want it all there. So one day I look back and go, I've got each single one. As some of them I have like a single here or there, which is kind of neat, right? And a Japan release or something like that.
Yes, I was just talking about singles the other day. I used to take my I grew up for a little bit in Germany. I used to take my €3 allowance and buy like a single like every weekend.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I've
it's
never
like
actually
2 songs and a remix.
I've never bought a single in my entire life.
Really?
Never. I've never bought one.
eBay was we were talking about eBay. I feel like not that long ago, but or maybe it wasn't you, Andrew. Maybe somebody else. But I was saying like, I remember eBay when the thrill of bidding was so much fun, and then it turned into buy it now. And then it was kind of like, but then at the time, that's when I used to buy a lot of singles, is that people would have these radio singles, or they'd be these like single releases in different countries, and I would nab them because I was a big fan. I was like, I'm going to grab that. Right.
Yeah.
Kind of neat. Awesome. And same idea, right? It would be like, $5 or something like that. I was like, sure, I'll buy a single for $5. It's not a big deal. Like I may be the only one that has it. Who knows? Or there's thousands of them out there, but I don't know.
Yeah.
At least gone.
I think
again.
they're mostly in other. I think they're mostly in other countries. Because like I never saw them like in HMV or anything.
HMV. Oh my God! Wow. Remember HMV?
That's throwing it back.
Holy crap!
Sunrise Music
that's
in
where
London.
I used to go. Yeah.
Man, Sam the Record Man in Toronto. That's where I went, man. Sam the Record Man. It was like
nice.
an honest. You remember Honest Heads?
Yeah.
It was like is that for albums? It was that's gone too. At
Oh,
HMV, I interviewed at HMV and they didn't hire me, and I was so
me
fucking,
too. Oh my God,
yeah,
they didn't hire me either.
I was so
I was
pissed
sad,
off.
but then
Yeah.
they like closed down like 2 months later, like
Okay.
immediately
Yeah,
they closed.
Joke's
So.
on you, HMV.
that's right.
Um,
What was the other one? There was another one too. HMV. There was Sunrise. At least in London was Sunrise. I don't think Sunrise was a chain though.
Sunrise is still
Um,
around.
Yeah, I've
Is
seen a
Sunrise still
bunch of
around?
sunrises.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
it's
still
still in
around.
White Oaks. White Oaks
I
has
did a
Sunrise.
gig at a sunrise last year.
Oh,
Get out.
really?
I played bass at like inside of sunrise. It was amazing.
That's so cool.
Hey,
I thought
why
they
don't
were.
you-
I thought they were gone.
Yeah, I
don't
mean, there's still a few actually. It's amazing, and they sell like local band albums in there now.
Yeah.
So what's stopping you from playing bass in the band? Out of curiosity, because again, I saw your interview, and your drummer used to be a bass player, and now he wants to be a drummer, but he plays bass.
Yeah,
But
they
you
actually
play
asked
bass.
me like they asked me to play bass and Shot Down Twice, and I was kind of like, I thought about it, but I was just like, first of all, I mean, well, it's mostly just I think that the vocal performance would suffer, and I really
Yeah.
care about like putting on crazy outfits with the platform boots, and I'm gonna be like doing all this like Dio stuff, so like
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to not be holding anything, and
Yeah.
I just really want to go like full vocalist with it.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good answer. That's a very good answer. If I
But
could
I
sing,
actually I want to play like bass in another band though. I want to be like in a cover band, and like we have one starting up right now, like kind of working on one, but
oh,
nothing
cool,
certain.
cool.
Yeah.
Are you actively looking? Because I saw you have a live bass player for shows. Oh, almost spilled my beer.
Yeah, he's awesome. I
Um,
went to high school with him too. His name's Jubin. He's really cool, and he played for like he'll be playing with us for shows like at least for the time being. Like he can't really commit to the full band, but he
hmm.
played with us in the video and stuff.
So are you guys going to actively look for a bass player? You said whichever comes first, but are you guys like actively looking, or you just kind of want it to naturally happen where you don't want to, add to your roster right now? Or is it
We've tried a few people out, some recently, like not for a while, but we were talking to some people that just kind of for whatever reason didn't feel right or didn't work out. But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's not like really urgent right now. We've had a lot of practices with just us without the bass, and like it's fine. I mean, at least we can get it done. But yeah, we're hoping to get someone like permanent.
Do you think it's harder now to find, like, as the band goes further, is it harder to add another like personality into the band? You think that's what might be is it a bigger concern how it will gel once the band, because you're
Yeah.
already EP in, right? And you're doing a full album. That's how I would see it, right? Because when Nate and I, we don't even have a drummer. It's just he plays guitar and sings, and I play bass, and the drums are programmed, and we just use tools online to like program drums in. So our biggest thing is when we go live, we'll be a full album deep by the time COVID ends, maybe another album deep. Who knows how long it'll take? But by the time it ends, we're gonna be, we're already on the internet with music and stuff. And our thing is like, do we want to add somebody, or do we want just live musicians to play with us? Like it could be the same person, but that's where we're at. And I think that that gets harder to add someone the further your band is. Like at the beginning, it's easier, right? Because you're like, whatever, write, record. But you guys are already an EP deep, and then you guys are already writing the next album, and you guys have already meshed through all COVID, right? Especially when you had nothing else to do. Your band must have got closer because that's all you could have done, right? You film 2 videos and have an EP. So I don't know. So I think that it gets harder to be like, you're a permanent member.
Yeah, it's really tricky. It's really tricky. Like it's finding the right personality is really important, because like one person can throw it all off, and it can make it one way or another. Like, and I think I kind of have an idea of, well, me and Jeff have talked about it a lot too, just about how like what kind of personality we want to fill that space, because we have like a really fun balance right now, and I enjoy it, and I feel like I don't know what, because I like it will change with another person, so I'm like, so what way do I want it to change? Like, do I want it to be like more energized or more chill or more like I don't know, like, and so there's a lot to think about, but yeah, I'm just trying to not settle. And like I've met like a few people who I can think of a few people that I know too, who I think like I really like and feel like could be good, but I just I don't know. There's just something holding back, like, because I've been in a lot of bands, and I've just learned a lot, and seen a lot of different personalities and kind of like what to expect from it. So just being careful.
Yeah, it's tough. I know that's Andrew and I've talked to many times, is that we kind of have this workflow process down, and you know, we send tracks back and forth, and we kind of know roughly the timeline when it's going to be coming back for the most part. Whereas if you add another person into the mix, depending on what you're writing and what you're doing, you know, it can slow down that and can really change the flow of the band itself, right? Which can be really tough as you add people in. So
exactly. And like they have to be okay with the different personalities and kind of like what we're like, and then they also have to understand and be okay with the fact that like we're going to be playing a lot of songs that we wrote when they had nothing to do with the band. And
right,
you know, like, and some people I've worked with in the past have gotten a bit like offended by that. Like maybe they're like, oh well, you know, I wasn't even there when any of these songs were written or whatever, and they get kind of impatient to write more because they like want to feel a bit more part of it. Like they don't want to feel like hired, I guess. So it is hard, like once you've made an album and stuff, like you said, like just it's harder to start later with another person rather than earlier. Because we already have stuff.
Yeah, and the more
they've
content,
got to jump in.
Exactly. The more content you have, you guys already have 2 music videos, right? So the further the band goes and gets, you know, as it gets more and more serious with each new thing, adding to that, it's just, especially you guys videos out, right? Yeah, because videos are like huge, and you know, having a 5-track EP and having 2 full shot videos, that's huge.
It is, yeah. And that like a person who joins might be kind of like, you know, they might tell their friends and family they joined a band, and then they Google it and
we
they're
don't
not
see
in
you.
Yeah.
You're lying. You're a liar.
Yeah, I don't think people like that. I think they like to like feel like they were there from the beginning, which I understand. So I hope that we find someone who can like jump in and we can like kind of like build a new band with them ASAP.
Where did the, I'm just intrigued, where did the name come from, Shot Down Twice?
They came up with it actually before I joined, like the band name and the album name. So I think it's just like supposed to be badass. It's just like boom. I don't know. Like it's just like supposed to be cool.
I just wasn't sure if like, you know, they had opportunities and they were shot down, and you know, they like kind of thing, hey, we came back from this kind of thing. I wasn't sure if there's anything to read into it or not, or if it was just it's a badass name though, really. It really is. So
yeah, it sounds cool. Like I think like it just like has a ring to it. And they I think it was just kind of like about like a triumphant resilience thing. So and I kind of wrote around that, like Got Up Once is the song's about that. And
right, it's kind of neat. It kind of plays right on that, right? So
yeah, and so it's kind of a fun theme. That's my favorite song on the album, by the way, Got Up Once.
It's
such a screamer.
Yeah, and you like, was that hard for you to do? Like when, because you said in your last band you were the backup singer.
Yeah, in an indie rock band.
And how the hell did that transfer? Like, did you always know you had the pipes to do it? Like, were you always like, I could sing, I'm a really good singer?
Oh yeah, well, yeah, actually, like, I mean, I wasn't into the indie rock stuff that I was playing. Like, I was just having fun, like doing a bunch of like gigs and stuff, and like, yeah, I was enjoying that. But I was a singer in punk rock bands before. Like, I made an album. The last one I made was with a band called Orbiting Death Ray, and it was just like chaotic punk rock. So like, and yeah, I've always been kind of like doing like all the high notes and the screaming and yelling and stuff. Like the Shot Down Twice album is like pretty full throttle, but it's a little bit less than the Orbiting Death Ray stuff.
Well, I mean, it certainly shows that the entire EP shows your range though, and where you can go, right? You can hone it in if you need to, but then you can let it go when you want, right?
Sweet.
Which is really neat. Which is really neat. I mean, we haven't had the opportunity to see you guys live, but I think it would really be an interesting kind of ebb and flow to the show, right? If you, when you mix in those songs there, be really, really neat. So
yes, I love performing so much. And like, I go really all out, like with fashion, especially. Like, I mean, I kind of look like a shite right now, but like sometimes like, I don't know, I usually wear like fucking wild things and just really like go wild with it. So like I love performing so much, and I now that I've performed so much, I kind of write the songs with performing in mind, kind of like, oh, this will be fun to like get down on your knee and do like
it's funny because you remind me a lot of the lead singer from Dear Rouge.
Oh, I feel like actually someone told me about that recently.
Yeah,
okay, I'm gonna have to remember
they're a band from BC.
Sweet.
Really, really good. I saw them live in Sarnia when they opened for. Here we go. Sorry, Andrew.
Matt Mays.
They opened up
Yeah.
for Matt Mays and the Arkells in Sarnia.
Oh,
a
okay,
couple
nice.
years ago. So it's a thing. I have to say, Matt Mays wants a podcast. It's
This is our 19th. This is our 19th podcast, and I think he's said it probably in
gotta
at
be
least
like
17
16,
of them.
17.
Yeah, he said.
Anyways,
I thought we get through
You
this
get
one
like
without
one
it.
of those, like you should get like a confetti exploder every time you say it or something.
Yeah. I would get a cowbell. And it's like big.
A gong, a gong.
Yeah.
that's why I was like, I don't want to really go down this road.
No, you
I'm
should.
gonna
You
avoid
should.
it. But anyways, I saw them live, and I had no idea who they were. And they I was like, this band is phenomenal. Like, where have they been? And they have a female lead singer, and she is phenomenal. She like just what you're telling me and what you present yourself on stage, and even from the music videos, it just reminds me a lot of that.
Amazing.
Obviously, they're not a. I wouldn't say they're not metal, that's for sure. But they I mean, some of their songs could be cusp. Like there's some harder songs, and they bring it down. And yeah, certainly check them out, because I think you'd see some similarities in there. You'd see where we're coming from. So.
Nice. Well, I love I'm a huge fan of a lot of female rock vocalists and metal vocalists. Like, yeah. So I mean, like really,
vocals.
There's so many great ones. Yeah. So I would love to check that out. I'm looking for new music right now. So thank you.
No problem. Anytime. And I'm a huge Canadian music person. I love Canadian music. So I don't know what it was growing up in the 90s. I think part of it is, it's funny. Andrew and I were just talking about like Our Lady Peace and that, and there's so many great Canadian 90 bands, and then kind of went away. And I mean, now we're, there's certainly tons of them out there. It's just trying to get them heard.
Do you like Econoline Crush?
Yeah, I sure do.
I love them.
Econoline Crush. That was a
Sparkle and Shine.
Sparkle
and Shine. Yeah.
I got to meet the guy one time. It was exciting because I was a really big fan since I was a kid of them.
Yeah, man, they were part of that. You know what band I like from Canada that we're talking about, that I never talk about? The Doughboys. Do you remember the Doughboys?
Oh, I remember that name. I don't remember any songs.
Oh man, that song called Shine. That's what made me think about it. Were they Canadian? Fuck. Now you're
like, oh shit.
Give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves.
Collective Soul had Shine, but that was about it, and they're not Canadian. So
they are Canadian. Doughboys.
Oh,
fuck yeah. Boom. Boom.
Nailed it.
Actually, it's funny. I was listening to a Doughboys Ramley, a Doughboy just list on YouTube. It kind of it just goes, and they have a song called "Fix Me."
No way.
Yeah, and it's dope. So "Fix Me" by Doughboys. So give it a go. It's kind of like Canadian grunge. Wasn't exactly as obviously as popular as the rest of the grunge. It's a milk down, but Doughboys. Anyway,
I'll have to check that out too.
Another one to check out.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, I love that era of music a lot.
Yeah, that's where we were heavily influenced on, and not.
Yeah.
We didn't know that's where it was going to take us when we started all this, but yeah, it's certainly that's where here we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So,
OLP Doughboys and Natalie Imbruglia. There you go.
She's not Canadian.
What was her song? What was
Torn?
Yeah,
we talk about that too.
Great. Oh yeah, I like her. She's
cool.
Yeah,
we like that
cool.
song too.
Yeah.
That's a really good
song.
Yeah,
it's a funny. It's come up a couple times on the podcast, and
when Carmen said she liked it.
Yeah.
When you said you liked it, I was gonna go. I said thank you almost. I don't know why. You're like, oh, I like that song. I'm like, thanks. And I was like
you wrote it.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
So
man,
hold on.
Thanks for liking it.
Oh,
so do you guys have any if COVID's over? We love talking to bands from Ontario. And you know what? We haven't talked to many. We talked to UK and we've had Australia and all this stuff, but
in the US.
The good thing is we had some solo artists from Ontario. Are there a first band from Ontario?
I think 12 years. Well, 12 years today.
12 years, obviously.
God, that
was the first one. Because we could actually see you guys. We could actually see you guys perform.
Which is cool.
You guys,
that'd be awesome.
When it's all over, 12 years is a good. I can't believe I said that. 12 years was the first.
It's okay.
Anyway, they're from Barrie. They're a metal band, and they're killing it. And it's awesome to just be able to be like, you know what, this is over. We can see you play, and you're one of the bands we definitely would check out, because come by London, man. London's a terrible scene, but come around London, anywhere around. and
There's
we'll
some-
see you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done a few gigs in London a few times, and they were really fun. I played at the Grinning Gator before it closed down
Oh
a
wow.
little while ago.
Really? Where
That was
where
really
else?
fun.
Where else did you play in London? Do
Oh
you know?
crap! Honestly, I don't even know. Some of these venues
Just-
like kind of run together at a
Yeah,
certain
no, I
point.
just wasn't sure.
I
If,
think
yeah,
there's one other one in London, but I forget.
Call
the
the
name.
office.
let's say call the office. Was that be it?
No, that wasn't the one.
Oh, it was
No.
Richmond Tavern.
I don't know.
The Richmond.
Richmond?
Yeah.
Oh,
The
No.
Taps on Talbot. I don't know. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't fucking know. Yeah.
I have no idea. To be honest, like I don't even know if I would even remember that. And
No,
maybe it
that's all
was,
good.
it was also long ago. It was in my my self-titled. I used to have like a self-titled band, the Carmen North band. Well, I mean, like it still like exists. Like I could dig out the Carmen North band. Like me and the guys
anytime.
still like know each other. Like it's all different guys, but yeah, I play guitar and sing when we play live with that one.
It's kind of cool that you to dabble into multiple bands and be able and still be able to go to them if you wanted to, eh? It's kinda
Yeah,
change of
exactly.
scenery, change of sound. If you really want, if you want to, just like, I just need to get away from this for a little bit and play guitar and sing. It's kind of a
Yeah,
neat way to
like
do it too.
every once in a while, like I mean, and it was nice like before COVID, obviously, like every once in a while people would reach out to me who saw us before and asked us if we wanted to play, and I would just like message everyone and be like, do you guys want to do it? And we would just have like maybe 1 or 2 refresher practices,
Yeah,
and
you're
it
just
was
good to
nice,
go.
like there was no obligation because everyone just kind of did whatever I wanted to do because it was like my band. Like I always like let them know they could like have more say if they wanted. But
Too. But they didn't. They really didn't care. They were just like, I just want to play.
yeah, they're just like, okay, let's do it. Like they're all really good musicians, and it was really nice because I thought that we weren't going to play together much. I thought we were just going to do my CD release party and then just call it a day. But then it went so well that we just like did it a lot more. So
That's
crazy.
awesome.
another band that I have in my back pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Have a bunch in there because hopefully
Sure.
sooner than later we'll be able to get out there and play again. So
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's like one thing no one can take away from you if you have like a self-titled band, I guess. Like that's
it's true.
all your songs that you wrote. Like
That's true. That is so true. All right, I'm going self-titled, Andrew. Sorry, buddy. I'm
Okay,
done.
it's fine. That's fine.
I put the idea in his head. So
No,
sorry.
I'm not. No, there's no way. I couldn't have done this without Andrew. There's not a chance.
If I had a
No, you gotta have
self-titled,
people help you.
if I was in a self-titled band, I would get a tattoo. It'd be like Andrew Fernandez
Just play.
band. It's like it'd be like that's not my name, it's my band. It'd be like just
Oh
hilarious.
my god.
On my
Just
neck.
change your legal name. Just be like, my name is the Andrew Fernandez Band.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
There
That's
we
how, you sign checks.
That's how you sign
Yeah.
it, doll.
Wire checks. I don't know. I don't ever sign.
You're not signing
That
checks
is my
anymore.
No, it's crazy.
That just dated all of us.
I don't.
Checks.
Actually, most funny, my last landlord only took checks. And I was like, can I please
Wow.
transfer you? And she's like, no, you need checks. I'm like, it's $60 to get a pack of checks. And she's
Yeah.
like, for even though it's just paper. And she's like, no, we only take checks.
Was she 100?
I don't know, maybe like 50s.
Oh,
Like,
that's
what a
too
jerk.
young. That's too
That's
young
way
to
too
take
young.
checks. Oh man.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
what's the
funny.
times?
Yeah, it's funny because we got checks just when our first my son was going to school, and it was like to do all the whatever pizza lunches and all that. And the next year they changed it all to online because it was way easier to. They were like, oh man, and of course, same thing, $60 for a checkbook. That's
They
fantastic.
have a
Now,
checkbook and nothing to write.
we have like exactly. I just write blank checks all day. It's not going to do anything. so.
Overcharged for anything these days. I
Exactly.
swear to God.
exactly.
You remember when you used to take a cab and they used to just copy your credit card? Remember that?
Yeah,
Remember
like
that?
the
They-
machine,
You put it in the machine. It had like took exact
Yeah.
copy of it. Like that.
The
What
carbon
the fuck are we
copy.
doing? Yeah. Who's
Yeah.
this guy? Has
Totally
the card?
weird.
Yeah, he has my
Now
credit
like
card.
that exists on paper. Like, where's that paper going? Like that's a bit
Yeah,
sketchy.
exactly. Who is this guy? It's a 10-minute drive. And he has my fucking credit card.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. You could just be like, whoops, like accidentally like burned it or like flew out the window.
Yeah, it was wild. The past.
And now
was
you
wild.
think that you touched that, and 10 minutes later somebody else touched that, and they didn't even sanitize that. Think about
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my
COVID
god,
times.
so much more aware of that now, eh?
I
Like
know.
now
Oh.
they're like, it's so funny. You go to the store and they're like, we sanitize our carts now. I'm like, you weren't doing that before.
Exactly. It's funny. I've said this story to a couple friends. I go, we were last March. We went to the last time I actually went out for dinner, like legit sat down, menu and all, and they're like, sort
Oh, he's gone.
of,
Oh.
You were gone.
really? Am I good?
Yeah.
Okay. Am I good now?
Okay,
You're good
yeah,
now.
you're good now.
No, he's
Make
not.
it quick.
Okay.
Okay,
You're good. You're good. Go.
Not this again.
This happened to him once, and it was hilarious. It
Oh
was
my
so
God.
funny. But he never came back.
But I never
He
showed it back.
he would just move like this, and be like, it was so weird.
So anyways, they sanitized like the rungs, the table, the menu, and I was like, why are we not doing this every time? Right? It just seems so
Yeah.
weird. So
Yeah.
Right?
anyways.
It's
know.
so funny to me, but yeah, I just didn't really think about it before, and now you just think of like everything you touch. I'm like, wow, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
my wife actually read a funny meme that was like, "Can you believe there's a time when we would buy someone a birthday cake and put candles on it, and they blew all over the cake, and then we cut it up and fed everybody with it?" And I was like,
that's
true.
crazy.
"Is that fucking crazy?" Yeah, we used to like
Yep.
blow, like just spit all over it, and we're cutting up, and like here, and then we all ate it, and now it's like
Yummy.
and now you have to put like a screen, and you can't even.
No, you just take the hair dryer out. Just bring
Yeah,
it
you
out
like
and blow it
you blow
away.
it out like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Just trigger.
I don't
Yep.
know.
There
Done.
are ways to maintain tradition and cleanliness.
That's
we just
right.
gotta find
All
them.
at the same time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I can't believe holy cow, we're like, I think almost an hour in. So before we
Oh my
go,
gosh.
I know it's amazing how time flies. This is why I love this.
I
Do you
love
wanna-
talking
where-
about music. It
I
always
know.
happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, and that's what we said. It's not really an interview. It's just more to chat and see what comes out of this.
Awesome.
Blowing cakes out with hair dryers. Anyways, where can everyone find you?
Oh my God. Okay. Yes. Okay. Shotdowntwice.com has our EP and everything on it and links to everything. Like it's just the most concentrated place, and you can order merch and stuff on there. And then Facebook and Instagram, we post cool stuff all the time. So check those out. Yeah. That's and then we are on all streaming services as well. Shot Down Twice, Got Up Once. I encourage you to check every song out, even the side Bs, like we were saying.
Yeah, we
Awesome.
also encourage you to do the same thing.
We
for,
encourage
Shotdown Twice.
everyone to
Yeah,
take
to listen
this
to
time.
the whole thing. Listen
it's-
to it all.
It's 5
And the
tracks.
side Cs and the side Ds. It's basically
Yeah.
a cube. It's a cube of
Yeah.
music.
That's right.
Exactly. You're so right. Holy shit. The pentagon of music. There's.
I'm a
Um,
mathematician.
Are you guys on Twitter or no? You're on Twitter.
Yes.
yeah.
What's
they're
your
on
at?
Twitter, yeah.
What is your at? Oh, it doesn't matter. No,
It's on the
all
website.
linked. It's all linked to the website.
It's all linked there.
Perfect.
We got all of our platforms are shot down twice. We got all of them. We're so happy.
That's nice.
That's
so
awesome.
nice. Yeah,
We
we
did
weren't
not.
smart enough to do that.
No, we,
No,
God.
we picked the band name before we thought of all that, and then actually Andrew's brother was like, "Hey, you guys should probably start getting like the socials and stuff together." We're like, "Oh, okay." And now we're chasing rec band, chasing records band, chasing records. I don't know.
yeah, we're a bunch of different shit.
So
Well-
we're the same. Just go to our website; you'll find us all there.
That explains why our EP was listened to after track 4. Like, it was
Nobody can find it.
I can usually get Carmen North actually, but for Instagram I had to make the O a 0. So
Oh,
you compromise. You
gotta
compromise.
compromise, yeah.
You adapt, you change. That's awesome.
Exactly.
All
Awesome.
right, it's nice talking with you. Nice meeting
All
you.
right, thanks, Carmen.
Good talking to you,
All
my
right.
friend. Thank
All right.
you.
Bye.
Bye.